Are you someone who works out regularly, but you feel like your strength gains plateaued? In this video, I'm going to show you some of my favorite moves to warm up before every workout so you can feel stronger in minutes. Now, when I say warm up, I'm not talking moves like this or this. I'm talking about warming up your core. For some reason, training the core is often overlooked when it comes to a gym warm up. And no, I'm not talking about generic moves like crunches or sit-ups. I'm talking about functional core exercises that help connect our core to our hips and our shoulders. Your core is your center by which your strongest muscles pull leverage from, and it always shocks me how many people neglect to train or activate it before lifting. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite moves to warm up your core before your next workout. And make sure to stay tuned to the 3rd movement because it's my all-time favorite gym warm-up. But first, I'm going to start with a more beginner-friendly movement. So the first move we're going to do requires no equipment, and that's just going to be a simple dead bug. So many of you might have done this core exercise before. You lie on your back, flatten that back against the ground, arms out in front, legs up at like a 90 degree angle here. And from here, you're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg as you straighten out, and then you switch to the other side. The reason I like this as a warm-up is because we're working shoulder movement, hip movement, while keeping a nice stable core and foundation. So it's a really simple but effective way to just get the core activated before your next lift. Now this is very beginner friendly because it requires no equipment and you can do it from anywhere. But if this is too easy, let me show you how to turn it up. So to take your dead bug to the next level, you're going to get into that position after grabbing a weight. I got a 30-pound kettlebell, or you can use a dumbbell. You press it out overhead. What you do is you slowly start to reach overhead so you feel that core activated. I'm already starting to shake. And then you straighten one leg at a time. So now we're working core and shoulder stability while dissociating our hip movement. So this is a great way to get that core activated while waking up our hips and shoulders at the same time. This move is very beginner friendly and you should be able to do it no problem. I like to do this move for 2 sets of 10 for a solid warm up, whether I'm using my body weight or I grab a weight here. But let me show you that second move to start taking this up another level. The second move we're going to do is a DNS Star Plank. So let's say I'm lying on my back. I'm going to roll to one side. And then I'm going to come up onto my forearm and I'm going to have my knee out in front of me. Not at a full 90 degrees here, a little bit less. And from here, I'm going to pack my shoulder nice and tight. And then I'm going to come up onto this knee into what we call like a star position here. And then this is pretty challenging already. We would just hold a plank here for about 30 seconds. So in this position, I feel this bottom side glute roasting. So we're getting that hip involvement. I feel the core activating, especially on the downside. And I feel my shoulder having to stabilize my body weight. And this is one of my favorite ways to connect hip and shoulder stability to our core stability at the same time. And of course, afterwards, you're gonna switch it to the other side, but let me show you how to take this move up to the next level. So we come up into that star plank position. Holding it here would be your level 1. Level 2 would be adding rotations. So I'm folding my trunk inwards, folding into that hip crease, a little bit of the shoulder, and then I start to open up towards the ceiling or the sky. And you can rep this out for a solid 5 to 10. 10 is going to be a lot harder than you think it is. Once you get into this position, you'll really feel, especially your hips smoking, your core activated, and your shoulder feeling nice and stable at the same time. Whew! And that was only 2 movements so far. So the first one, very beginner friendly. The second one's more of our intermediate exercise. And I love combining these first 2 moves because the first one helps you stabilize in the sagittal plane or this forward and backwards plane. The second move gets more of that coronal or that frontal plane where we have to work side to side to stabilize. But I promised you my all-time favorite move, and I'm going to show you that next. Now our final move, and my favorite move to warm up with, requires one piece of equipment, and that's a pull-up bar or just somewhere to hang from. I'm going to show you how to connect our core with our shoulder stabilizers while moving our hips at the same time. So I'm going to show you from the back first. What we're going to start with is just a dead hang position where I just let my body weight take me here. And the first part of this movement is packing our shoulders. So I'm thinking about bringing my shoulder blades down towards my back pockets. Think of my head shooting through my shoulders. And that's already engaging my shoulder stabilizers. I feel my lats connecting to my core, which our lats are one of our strongest upper body muscles to pull leverage from. And then from the front, I'll show you the second part of that movement. So I get into that nice stable position with my shoulders. I hold this right here. Then I bring my feet out in front of me, almost into this hollow position. And then I slowly bring one knee towards my chest. as I alternate from side to side, almost like you're doing like a bicycle kick on the ground, but this way we're having to stabilize with our shoulders, core, and have to isolate our hip movement at the same time. So just repping these out, you can probably tell I'm shaking a little bit. So I'll take a slight break and then I'll show you what it looks like from the back side. So again, dead hang, good shoulder position, hollow position, moving hips from side to side. So I'm not trying to rush through this, so I'm shaking. I want you to feel like a block of cement here. So you're not moving anywhere but from the actual hip joints itself. So back from the front, get into that position, and then I just rep this out, and then the slower you go, the harder it will be. So it doesn't take very many reps, just a solid 5 or 10 on each side. And within a few seconds, yet alone minutes, you'll be feeling stable in your core, you'll feel your hips activated, and you'll feel those shoulder stabilizers working, so you're ready to dominate whatever workout you have that day. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know my philosophy is minimum effective dose. Meaning what's the least amount of movement we can do to get the greatest results. I would do each of these 3 exercises, just 1 set each. Again, we want to warm up the core so it connects to our shoulders and our hips. So I like to call these moves core primers, so you have nice activation before the workout. But you don't want to overdo these, because if you fatigue your core, that's when you'll compensate through areas like your spine, and that could lead to injuries or other problems. So next time you're at the gym, start with level 1 and try to work your way up to level 3. Think of just starting with 10 reps on each side, so 10 reps with the dead bug, whether it's level 1 or level 2. DNS Star Plank, if you can't do the rotations, because it's way harder than it looks, then you just want to start with those static holds for about 30 seconds. And then if you have a pull-up bar at the gym or at home, then this is the all-encompassing warm-up to get those hips moving, core activated, and shoulders nice and stable. So give these a try before your next workout. And if you're currently dealing with any pain or discomfort, say in your low back, neck, shoulder, check out this next video so you can determine whether that's coming from a muscle problem or a joint problem, because there's a clear difference between the two.